All right, thanks. Hey, Representative Brian Bilbray joins us on the phone live from Washington right now to talk about this big tax vote last night and to tell us what happened to that big omnibus spending bill that they spent so much time on. Good morning, Congressman.
Mark, honored. Linda, great to be with you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So let's talk about this. It happened, they passed this. You voted to pass it. Are you happy with the way it stands, or are there things that you're not so happy about?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'm not happy with. I mean, let's face it. Anytime the Senate, or as we call them, the House of Lords, gets their fingers into something, it usually doesn't turn out very well. But this thing still was a real important issue because if we sat around and allowed a massive tax increase to hit in January, the ability of Washington to change that in the next 6 months was really dubious, and it was just because everything's so slow, as Mark and you, Linda, know how slow it can be, and the damage to the economy and jobs at that time would have been irreversible. But this is one thing where Democrats and Republicans got together and voted on it, much more than I thought. But it's one of those things where I wish we could see this done without all the garbage that was thrown into it. The big one was killing the monster called the omnibus bill, which was a real big victory for taxpayers, and the concept of fiscal restraint that was killed in the Senate yesterday. And I'm really impressed that this was able to be done before January.
Well, that was, like 12 bills rolled into one, and they were trying to push it through and pass it without anybody even reading it, basically. 6,000 earmarks in that thing, am I right?
Yeah. In fact, the line was that there was so much pork in this that even this pig couldn't fly. The fact is, what's really good about this is that you've got a lot of people that have finally waken up to the fact that the voters really spoke in November and sent a message. And even the Democrats who were defeated really were recognizing that they still had an obligation to represent their constituency one way or the other. And I'll tell you, I spent a lot of time talking to a lot of these members that aren't going to be around and remind them there's nothing that the Speaker or the President can offer you that should be make you abandon your integrity and your reputation. And the only thing more important than worrying about going home to see your neighbors is understand your children have to do that. And I think a lot of people do think about that. It just impressed me that there was a message sent by the voters, and though they didn't get it all, there's a whole lot of stuff going on that I think the voters are really upset about. At least the voters got these guys' attentions, and I think we've seen that in the last couple of days.
Now, are you done? Do you get to come home for the holidays?
No, we've got to try to keep the government open until we can bring the new crew in, and so I'm waiting to see what we can have the Senate and the House agree on. So I'm back here freezing to death in the the snow, while you're catching some of the rain.
All right. Well, we'll come home soon, and thanks for the update, and we will talk to you shortly. Representative Brian Bilbray back in Washington.
Mark,
Thank you, sir.
Great as always, and just remember, I'm always California dreaming back here, even when it isn't snowing.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks for joining us.